Much of the east coast of the United States blanketed by smoke drifting down from wildfires burning in Canada. Coincidentally, today happens to be Clean Air Day in Canada. For a second straight day, New York City is experiencing some of the worst air quality in the world. And those living in other major metropolitan areas, including Philly, D.C., even down to the Carolinas, are also living with unhealthy, even in some cases, hazardous conditions. Let's go straight to CNN's Bill Weir, who's in Brooklyn. Bill, how bad is the air where you are right now?
You coming to me, Jake? Sorry about that. We missed your cue if you are, but we're in Williamsburg, Brooklyn right now, and we've been watching the sky change in the most sort of eerie, apocalyptic ways since midday. We saw the sky turn from like a dirty yellow to this ominous orange at one point. It got so dark that the street lights came on in Central Park automatically. There are ground stops at LaGuardia. We just received word it looks like they're going to cancel the Yankees game and the Phillies game tonight, as well as the New York Liberty, as a result of this smoke right here. But this is the worst air quality since they've been taking readings, I think, for the last 30 years or so. Anything above 300 on the air quality index is considered dangerous for everyone, regardless of your health, regardless of your age. Officially, we've topped over 320 today. I saw some readings on some air quality weather maps that were north of 400. Unofficial, but astounding when you think about what that means in terms of where this puts New York on the world's most polluted cities. We're up there with New Delhi right now in terms of air quality. This is a city with 4 times as many people and much less stringent air quality standards and regulations as well. And it's all a matter of those wildfires up north. Right now, so far, this part in June, 15 times the average land in Canada has burned. And the height of the wildfire season up north really doesn't get kicked off until July or August. So who knows if this is going to be a long-term trend. We're hoping for some rain tonight. But in talking to doctors and folks from the American Lung Association, they're very concerned about folks staying inside, not being active in this. The more you are working your lungs and sort of inhaling those PM 2.5 particulate matters deep into your body, the worse it can be for folks, especially those maybe who survived COVID and were damaged by that and now have to worry about this exacerbating those injuries as well. But this is the latest from here. I'll send it back to you, Jake.
All right, Bill, we are in Brooklyn. Thank you so much. Let's go to West New York, New Jersey. That's the name of the city, West New York. That's where CNN's Maria Santana is. Maria, tell us what the air is like where you are.
Yeah, but it has been very, very bad throughout the day. Things have improved in the last hour or so, but like Governor Murphy, Phil Murphy of New Jersey, said in your show earlier, it gets really bad depending on where you are. And I want to show you what it looks like right now in West New York, New Jersey, and we are really west of New York. That is Midtown Manhattan across the Hudson River right now. You can kind of make out the buildings at this point. Earlier today, you couldn't see anything. It was so dense and so thick with smoke that it was completely white. It also got very dark hours earlier to the point where the streetlights, as Bill Weir said, turned on here. And the authorities in New Jersey are recommending that people stay indoors, that they limit their outdoor activities. And here in this part of New Jersey, people seem to be heeding that advice. This is a very populous area, because of the spectacular river views. And on a normal spring day, you would see people here walking around, taking pictures, hanging out at the parks and the plazas. But today it has been eerily empty here. No one really around. Most people are coming by just to take pictures of what it looks like, because it does look like a very eerie movie scene. That's what it's been looking like throughout the day. People who have been working outdoors, we have seen construction workers leave the area because it has gotten so bad. It is very difficult to breathe. I myself have felt the scratchy throat, the dryness in my throat. And like the authorities said, the best thing that you can do at this point is wear a very high quality mask if you do have to be outside. Jake.
All right, Maria Santana in the town of West New York in New Jersey. Thank you so much. We're tracking this dangerous smoke that's causing flight delays. It's canceling outdoor activities. It's sending people indoors. Meteorologist Jennifer Gray joins us now from CNN's Weather Center. Jennifer, where is the smoke heaviest right now?
Well, really, the New York area is where it's at its worst. You can see visibility is at 1.5 miles. So we've seen it down to less than a mile at some points during the afternoon. You can see Syracuse under a mile, State College. So really, this area right here is where we're seeing the worst of it and the thickest smoke. However, it all depends on the wind direction. So by tonight, I think some of the smoke is going to shift a little bit farther to the west and a little bit farther to the south. So when it clears up for one area, it's going to be bad for another. This is a time lapse progressively throughout the day, and you can just see it worsen with the hours that have gone by. And that's what we've seen, and that's what the reporters are saying. And New York City now tops that map of the worst city in the world for air quality. And it's been on this top 10 list for the last couple of days, but for the last few hours has been sitting right at #1. You can see those red and purple dots. That's where the worst air quality is across that I-95 corridor up in upstate New York, even back in the Ohio Valley. And that's where the worst quality air is going to move over the course of the next few days. So for New York City, it is going to remain bad. Washington, D.C., it's going to stay really nasty as far as tomorrow goes. And then it looks like by Friday, the more of this will shift a little bit farther to the west, Jake. But it's going to stick around, I believe, for the long term.
All right, Jennifer Gray in the CNN Weather Center. Thanks so much. With me now is Dan Westervelt. He's an assistant research professor at Columbia University and an air pollution advisor to the U.S. State Department. Dan, thanks for joining us. It's staggering what we're seeing today across the Northeast. Put this in context for us. How bad is the air pollution right now in New York City and other parts of the eastern U.S.?
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Jake. It's really hard almost to find words to describe what we're seeing with these levels of particulate matter. These levels are at least 10 times higher than what health guidelines mark as the healthy levels for exposure for particulate matter. So we're really seeing just unprecedented amounts of pollution in the New York area and in the mid-Atlantic in general.
And this is the worst it's ever been, I believe, in Canada when it comes to wildfires, at least in modern history. How much of this can be attributed, if at all quantifiable, to climate change and more specifically, the impact of man-made activities on climate change?
Yeah, well, it's rather difficult right now to attribute individual events to climate change. That research is probably ongoing as we are speaking right now, and I'm sure people are working on that. What we do know is that hotter temperatures, drier conditions, worsening droughts, less precipitation, all of those things which are symptoms of climate change are happening, and those things do worsen wildfires.
How can people protect themselves when they, let's say, have to go outside? They have to get medicine, they have to pick up their kids at school, et cetera. What should they do?
The biggest thing that we can do right now if we're outside is wear a well-fitting mask. Talking about the N95s, the KN95s, the ones that we sort of got used to during the pandemic. So we need the high quality, high filtering masks, and they need to be well fitting. And that's the best thing you can do if you need to go outside.
All right, Dan Westervelt from Columbia University, thank you so much. Appreciate your time and expertise.